Not all coffee is created equal. And you know, experts say a really good cup of coffee doesn't need equal or sugar or that whipped cream tower we're all so familiar with. We've got the essentials on the best tasting cup of joe around, whether you're brewing at home or buying at a coffee bar.
It's not just a morning pick-me-up or an after-dinner drink. Coffee is an ingredient, an art form, and even a political statement. But if you really want to serve the best tasting coffee, it's not what's on the label that makes the biggest difference, it's how it's prepared. Chief Espresso Officer Andy Newbaum knows what separates the tasty from the terrible.
I would expect that the average person is not going to be sort of a coffee geek, rocket scientist kind of freak like we are.
Here's Andy's crib notes to getting the best cup of coffee money can buy. Start with the bean, which is not a bean at all, but the seed from the cherry of a coffee tree.
If you get a coffee that says Colombian, it's like getting wine from America. It doesn't tell you anything about where it came from.
Serious coffee roasters can tell you where their beans come from, down to the farm.
This is actually a really nice Guatemala Vista Hermosa pea berry.
More important than the bean is the way the coffee is roasted. The longer the roast, the darker the coffee. Shopping at a local roaster is one way to learn about roasting styles. Plus, their coffee is usually fresher, and freshness is key. But if you're buying from a grocery store, there are things you can do to get the most bang for your buck.
Almost every grocery store is going to have something like Seattle's Best, the Starbucks, Pete's, because those are national chains.
Andy recommends these national brands because their stock is likely to rotate faster. That means they'll be fresher. Another tip?
Definitely whole bean better than ground.
Don't stock coffee in your freezer. Buy small amounts of beans and grind them at home, seconds before brewing.
If you can grind it right before you use it, it's always better. This needs to be a finer grind.
When it comes to brewing, the Melita or cone filter makes very tasty coffee.
You're going to plunge the plunger all the way through.
But Andy's favorite way? The French press.
Perfect. Very, very good.
Now that you know all about coffee for home, what are some tricks of the trade when it comes to that new American standard, the coffee bar? Your barista should be confident and able to answer questions. The machine should be clean, and it takes 30 seconds to extract the espresso used in coffee drinks, so a barista that's moving too fast is a bad sign. One final tip, find out if they are coffee fans themselves.
And if you ask them and they don't drink coffee, just turn around and walk out.